Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to episode 166 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
And my name is Barbara. Try not to sound like I sound every other time, just like you.
My name is Elvis. No, I don't know how I'm supposed to change that up.
You won't. It's good.
So it's Memorial Day. When this episode comes out, you got big plans for the long weekend?
I'm going to go for a long run.
There you go.
Grill, yard work, cook, I love it.
Yeah.
I just need 3 days off. Actually, I'm taking Tuesday and Wednesday off, too, just to relax and hang out with my kids. So looking forward to it.
Your 3-day weekend becomes a 5-day weekend?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just started a new job. I don't want to ask for time off yet.
Yeah. What are you doing?
No major plans, actually.
Cool.
Try to take it easy. Weather's supposed to be decent, so looking forward to just being outside.
A decent 65 degrees?
You're about right. So 65, 68. That's beautiful weather here in Indiana.
It is, actually.
Take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. What are you, 106? Is that what you guys are looking at?
It's 90 and we're going on like day 19 of no rain. It's really parched here.
Ugh.
I mean, I like warm, but I like it when it rains and everything gets green. When you're going on 19 days, it's like, ugh. So.
Yeah. Well, you got that whole ocean, so.
Yep. I know, exactly. So sorry about your luck. So what's going on this week?
Well, actually, this week starts Dental Technician and CDT Appreciation Month. And here at Voices from the Bench, we need your help.
Mm-hmm.
So please record yourself giving thanks to that special someone in our industry, and we will play it on the podcast. We've done it for the last 2 years, and everybody gets a kick out of being mentioned. So this is the perfect opportunity for lab owners to thank their staff, managers to thank their teams, vendors to thank their clients, or just a technician to thank another technician that helped them on their journey to be better. It's super easy to do. Just record yourself on your phone or computer and email it to info@voicesfromthebench.com, and we will play it on the podcast, so let's show the industry that we care about each other.
Aww. I'm going to do one again this year, too.
Yeah, so far we've gotten 0, so that means everybody hates each other.
Aw, let's go, people. Come on.
So a few months ago, LMT Magazine did a feature called 40 Under 40. This was a collection of 40 people that work in our industry that are all under the age of 40. It's no secret that the dental lab industry is full of older technicians, and it's nice to see the younger generation get recognized as they find their place among us. I'm sorry, Barb, that they didn't have you in this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that where I say up yours, Elvis?
I believe so.
Beep off.
I didn't make the issue either. I'm too old.
Oh, well.
So randomly on social media, because that's where I spend way too much of my time, I saw people give congratulations to others for being featured in this article. So we reached out to 2 of them and asked if they would come on the podcast to talk about themselves, their careers, and being featured in the 40 Under 40. First up is Julia Izumi from Shanto Dental Ceramics up in Vancouver. With a bachelor's degree in science and a degree as a registered dental technician, Julia fell in love with dental and has spent the last 10 years plus honing her skills to become the lab's production supervisor. And then we chat with Chris Love with Absolute Dental Services. This young technician runs a removable department that not only makes traditional removables, but is heavy into the digital denture production. So join us as we chat with Julia Izumi and Chris Love.
Elvis, when your lab was getting busy again after the shutdown, how the heck did you handle all of the extra work?
It definitely came back a lot quicker than we expected. And the nice thing is that we have an amazing partner to labs in the industry, Alien Milling. Not only did they handle all the designs that we were not prepared to do, but they could also handle any milling we needed done.
So, one of the buzzwords is that the outsourced design centers lack consistency. Did you see any of that? Was that an issue?
Not at all. Not only was everything back to us the next day, all the designs were done here in the U.S. with a team of dedicated technicians that gave us what we like to call straight-to-mill designs.
So basically that's no adjustments needed in my language.
Pretty much. You didn't have to open up 3Shape to make sure it looked okay. We went
Nice.
straight to the mill. And if the case was super complex, we just let them mill it. No matter if it was a zirconia crown, Emax, an abutment, titanium bars, or even dentures.
I had no idea they do all of that. So how is their turnaround times? We all know that that's the most difficult part of outsourcing work. You just don't know.
Absolutely. Most services are done next day. From crowns to bars, even the iVotion digital denture, next day.
Wow. Seriously, next day? That's amazing.
Yep.
What if I want to have Alien mill some of my crowns, but also mill my own? Do you think the doctors will know the difference?
Believe it or not, they're not just a milling center. Alien Milling also provides the discs of the same zirconia and can set you up with one of their amazing mills so you can produce the same quality restorations that you want your lab to be known for.
Wow. Sounds out of this world, totally amazing. What is the best way to find out more about Alien Milling?
You can give them a call at 844-ZIRCONIA.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty fancy. That's 844-947-2664. Or head over to alienmilling.com to see all the services and products they offer.
I'm going to do it. Thank you. We appreciate your support of our podcast, Alien Milling.
Voices from the Bench. The interview. We are excited to welcome to the podcast today Julia Izumi. I think I got it right. Julia Izumi from Vancouver, British Columbia, who recently got picked in LMT's 40 under 40.
Yay!
Yes, that's awesome. We found you online, and I thought, you know what? Let's find out Julia's story. Julia, how are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me. And many, many thanks to LMT Magazine for including my story. It's such an honor to be featured, along with all these talented and passionate fellow nominees. And, more than anything, I think I've really enjoyed reading everybody's stories. It's so inspiring with, all this ambition and, drive to go above and beyond in this profession. So congratulations to everyone.
Absolutely. That was well put. I looked at all of the profiles, looking for a future guest. But just reading them all, you're right. I mean, so many different stories or how they got into the industry or what they were doing or their inspirations. It was really cool. So let's find out what yours is. How did you end up in the dental industry?
So 2005, I graduated from the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. I got my bachelor's degree in science, and to be honest, there was like a now what moment. I didn't really know what to do after, and actually a good friend of mine was in the same situation, and she told me about the dental technology program at a local school, and I had no idea what that was, but I looked into it, and it sounded really interesting to me. I get to work with my hands, create something, but it also required dental knowledge and material science. So I thought that, my previous education can help me with the theory. So biology, chemistry, anatomy. So I applied. We did our manual dexterity test, and my friend and I got in. And I really enjoyed it. I really felt like this is what I wanted to do. And in terms of work, so in the first year of school, we had to go out to different labs for observation and, write a report of what we saw. And one of the labs I visited was Chantal Dental Ceramics. It was a small crown and bridge lab of 9 people. I just fell in love with that lab like instantly. People were welcoming, warm, and encouraging. And I think I just chose my lab at that moment. I was like, this is it. This is where I wanted to work. So I did my practicum there. I worked in the summer and part-time during my second year, and then eventually full-time after I graduated. I started with opaquing, diagnostic wax-ups, model work, temporaries, and then, eventually I touched on CAD/CAM, but I went into more metal work, gold crowns, long span PFM bridges, and implants. So that really built my foundational knowledge of restorations. 2014, I had my first son, came back a year later, had my second son in 2017. I decided to take a break and stay at home with my kids. And I was away
Mm-hmm.
from work for 2 years. I did some part-time work, but I find it was hard to do part-time work in this line of work. So it didn't really work out. But the guy I worked for, he was really good at what he did, and I learned a lot from him. So it was a good experience. And then it was December 2019. Hans Forsander, he's one of the previous owners of Shanto. He contacted me out of the blue. He asked me what I was doing, and said want to have coffee and talk. So we got together, and he told me what was going on at Shanto. The past 2 years, they said. They sold the lab to Small Innovations Group in 2018. It's an investment company, focusing on acquiring labs and offering dental products and services. And it's headed by Donald Park, who I think you both know. He has an
Yeah.
impressive resume, and he's well known in the dental industry. And Manny Pata, who is an entrepreneur, investor with numerous awards and recognition. And I think he was only 26 when he built his first multi-million-dollar company or something like that. So, a great team. And they were looking for someone to join the management team. And Hans basically asked me if I wanted to come back, and I visited the new lab and saw my old colleagues, and everyone was happy to see me. They were all asking me when I was coming back, and I wasn't really prepared at that moment because I thought I was just going for coffee with my old boss, right? But
That's how it all starts.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was a great opportunity, so I said yes, and I was back February 2020 as production supervisor and technical consultant. I was super excited, but also very anxious. I think I was most anxious about talking to dentists because I'm such a shy and, not really outgoing person. I'm just happy working at the bench, right? But,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to do this, kind of. Actually, I was talking to dentists on day 2, so the rest is history. Oh, and then COVID
Wow.
hit. COVID hit, I
Oh, of course, yes.
guess. Everything was shut.
So you said you were talking to Dennis, but didn't you go right into management when you came back?
Yes. So, I mean, yeah, I was working at the bench for over 10 years, and I didn't really have much experience in sort of like a supervisor role, but I did understand the workflow, and I was doing a little bit of like treatment planning with implants with Hans, and I was learning a lot from Hans. And so, I mean, in that aspect of it, it wasn't such a great leap, but I mean, in the first year, I learned so much, right? It's just it's constant learning about, yeah, how to talk to doctors, and it's also case specific. And I was just, just sitting beside Hans when he's talking to a dentist so that I can just listen to everything he was saying and how he's talking to the doctors. And I learned a lot that way. I had to learn fast.
Yeah, dentists usually are pretty good at getting you prepared to talk to the next dentist because what you learn talking from one
Yeah,
definitely carries over to the other. I remember when I first
exactly.
started and I
Mhm,
first got on a phone with the doctor, I was
mhm.
terrified
Yes,
that I wouldn't have the knowledge to communicate.
yes,
But it
yes.
wasn't long that you start realizing that you have more.
Yeah, and it's just kind of repetition too, and you find that you're kind of almost saying the same thing sometimes too,
Oh
right? It's
yeah,
like
absolutely.
it's sort of different problems, but it's kind of like material selection, or in terms of implant treatment planning, you have your options, right? And you're giving them the options, and talking about the risks and stuff like that. And that, yeah, the more you do it, you just get a little bit more comfortable, and you get to apply your knowledge to that. So
Sure.
yeah, definitely it was. Yeah, that first call was. I think it was just the call about clearance issues, but I was super nervous
Oh, I know. I
for
remember
sure.
too. Now it's like a no big thing. You just kind of get used to it and
And I actually like, that the relationship that you form, with some of the dentists as well. They kind of go for you for advice sometimes, and it's great to just kind of talk about teeth.
yeah.
So our laboratory worked with a Canadian laboratory probably 5 or 6 years ago. And what I
Hmm.
noticed, and what you can probably confirm, is that the quality that they expect in Canada is a bit higher than what we're used to. Do you guys use microscopes on everything there?
Yes, we do.
Really?
Yeah. We check the margins quite.
Even CAD/CAM, like even zirconia and those types of restorations, do you scope?
Yeah, I mean, when they're doing the fitting and everything, we have them check with the microscopes, yes.
Yeah,
How about you guys? Do you guys use loops or?
I do. I don't think Elvis
Yeah,
does, but I do for sure.
I don't personally, but yeah, our lab uses loops, and we have microscopes. What on at middle finishing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
They don't use microscopes for everything, right? But I guess, I think margins are super important that day.
I was super impressed. That's not a negative in any way. We were working with those laboratories. It's just definitely a different type of quality restoration in Canada, from what I know,
Oh, okay.
better.
All
in a good
right.
way.
So, Julie, I'd like to go back. You mentioned that you already went through school, you already got a bachelor degree, and then you went to dental technology school?
Yeah, like I
Wow.
said, it was, but I couldn't really, I didn't know what to do afterwards, and it wasn't like I was able to get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
It was like, do I have to go to, more schooling? I was thinking about, dental school as well, but that's, just even more years of school, and
Oh, yeah.
I just really wanted to start working, I guess, so that's how I got into it.
How long is their program?
It's 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Hmm.
Are there a lot of schools in Canada? In America, everybody
Hmm.
knows that, there's not as many as there used to be. How strong is it in Canada?
In BC, there's two right now. I know there's not that many schools around
Okay.
in Canada, but yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the statistics for last year, and I think there was only like 14 students registered at the college.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Wow.
I think
So,
we do have the same problem where, like I
yeah.
told you, like I never even knew this profession existed, and I think a lot of people don't
Mm,
unless you're sort of kind of born into it or you kind of stumble
sure.
upon it.
Yeah.
So I think that, trying to get people interested in the program, it is a challenge in
Yeah.
Canada as well.
Yeah, it's no different.
Yeah, and I mean, you do learn, the theory and basics in school, but a lot of it you have to acquire the skills during work. You have to,
Hmm.
just years of practice and looking at real life cases, right?
Oh, yeah.
It takes a long time to build that skill set.
Do they teach a lot of CAD CAM in the schools?
So, I mean, when I went to school, there wasn't. We just did sort of like a research paper on it. But now
Sure.
I think they do have starting to implement more of the CAD/CAM programs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you did graduate with an RDT, right? A registered dental technician?
So we had to take the test for it afterwards.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, I got the diploma for the dental technology program, and then we had to study and kind of prepare for the RDT license exam
Wow.
about a year later after that.
Do you plan on getting your CDT?
Um,
Do they have CDT in Canada? Is that the same?
I think in Alberta they do. In
Wow.
BC you can only get your RDT.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure, how that works, like how you get your CDT, what's the difference there?
Hmm.
I thought CDT you could be anywhere.
I don't know. That's a great question, to be honest with you, but I don't think
We
so.
need to ask somebody.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Interesting.
Yeah, so I guess with my RDT, yeah, it's just kind of Canada, but yeah, I probably need CDT for if I'm working in the States or something like that, right? So
So, what's the favorite part of your day now?
what's my favorite part of the day? Oh, good question. I don't know. It's just every day I'm just doing a lot. It's busy. I think it's kind of learning, about new. I learn something new every day, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, like I was saying, to somebody that when I'm working at the bench, you're sort of just focused on that, right?
Yes.
Whatever you're
True.
doing. But then now, like I have to learn everything. Like I've never been a ceramist, but I have to learn about porcelain materials, material selection, and I do the shade taking with the ceramist, and I talk to the patient, and I take the photographs and we like to talk to the patients too to get the history of their teeth. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you find out a lot about it. So you find out that, oh, that tooth is root canal treated, or they're bleaching, or their temporaries keep breaking. And you learn so much from that that is not on the RX. And
Yeah.
then, you have to go back to the dentist and like, I saw the patient and, I think this is going to be a problem, or I think the stump is too dark to do EMAX. And there's so much that sort of goes on that even just talking to patients. So the communication part of this it's challenging, but like it's exciting and something that drives me. And there's like in my mind, there's two types of work. So there's that everyday work that needs to get done, looking at cases, talking to doctors, and then there's the work that needs to be done today so that things will be better tomorrow. So how do we improve our workflow? How do we solve recurring problems? Revisiting our protocols, materials, tools, equipment, evaluating people, developing people. And that's an area where, I wish I had more time to do, without getting bogged down with everyday things. But yeah, that's what I get excited about just being in this position right now. I get to be part of the solution.
Yeah.
That is so true.
I love that. That's a great answer.
How often do we spend all of our energy getting out the work that's due today?
Exactly.
A whole lot of it.
Yeah, but you gotta find that time to work on improving for the stuff for tomorrow.
Yes. And I mean, when we were shut down during COVID, it was because before that, like we were just so busy, like our heads were down, like we were just like, okay, one day at a time. But when everything stopped, it was time to just kind of reflect on what we were doing. We were like, okay, now we have all this time. Let's try to think about how to improve things. And it was a time where, we all encouraged each other to, watch webinars, learn. And when we came back mid-May, like I think Donald and Manny, like they were good at just kind of trying to reorganize everything and just, asking me for advice on how we can improve our workflow and, scheduling and everything. And it was sort of good to just take that break and, rethink things through for better tomorrow.
So did your whole lab close, or did you guys keep a few people
Yes.
there?
Yeah, we had to close.
Wow.
I mean, there were a couple because there were some emergency, cases that came in, but yeah, we were shut down
Wow.
for the
Yeah.
most part,
Can you
like the
guys
majority of
believe that
March.
was a year ago already? Jeez.
I know, right? It
Unbelievable.
just went by. And I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
There was a pivotal point last year. I took the 2-day business management program offered by the NADL University in September.
Oh yeah.
You went to NADLU?
Yes,
NADLU.
yeah,
Oh,
and
I
I got
love
to,
that.
We're
yes,
all
it was,
graduates. Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
and I guess I have Barbara to thank for that. I have the certificate with just a picture on it, and
Aw,
Oh, that's hilarious.
yeah, it
cool.
was a great program. It was a great program. I don't think that you can get that anywhere. It was management, but related to dental technology,
It was
And I
great.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, taking that course like really solidified my career goal. I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. And, learning on the job is great. And I think that you learn case specific situations that you don't perhaps learn in school. But to me, it's sometimes bits and pieces of information that become a bit chaotic in my mind. So taking a course or a program like that really categorizes things. You see the big picture, it's organized, there's topics and subtopics, charts and terminology. So, and this is how I learn. So I highly recommend anyone in management or is interested in management to take this program.
I was going to ask you what you did to hone in your management skills, and it does sound like they invest back into you, so that's great.
And I'm also registered for a online management program in May. It's like a 6-week part-time program, so I can still work and study at the same time. So yeah, I'm just want to work, learn from on the job, but also take all these courses, maybe like a financial course, and
Nice.
just keep learning.
Love it.
Yeah, so you're going to take some courses on just general management, not specified to our industry.
Yes. So
Yeah,
kind of
that's cool.
leadership and just essential management skills.
It's not the easiest job, leading
No.
people and everyday managing of people, but it sounds like you really love it. I read your article and it really sounds like you enjoy that part of it, which is really nice because some people think it's really hard, but I enjoy working with people and leading people and
Yeah.
managing them. And
Hmm.
I think it's a gift.
Yeah, it's not obviously, yeah, it's not easy. And, you're dealing with a lot of people, but, I just try to have this kind of team mentality. And I don't know everything, and you have all these people and resources, and I just go to them for help if I don't know something. And what's the great thing about kind of working in this industry is like you're stuck, right? You have a case where you don't know what to do, and you ask somebody, you're like, oh, what do you think, and we all discuss the case, we talk about it first, before we talk to the dentist. And it's so collaborative that
Yeah.
way. So I don't feel alone in it. We're all in this together, and we all have a common goal to work towards.
Love it.
And the nice thing about our industry is you can reach out to anyone almost and get help.
Yes.
So the NADLU, when you took that was all online, wasn't it?
It was online, yes. It was.
Yeah. That's unique because Barb and I got to experience when it was in Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
And I'm sure it's different, Were you able to connect with the other attendees as well?
Yeah, I think that's the part where, yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I did email like, some people, but
Sure.
it's kind of different. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have that feel, when you're just talking to somebody in person, and
Yeah.
as opposed to online. So, but I didn't have to, travel, right? So I just I
Yep.
just did it at home, kind of thing. So
Yeah. I recommend that in future years when they do it live and in person, take it again. I am still real good friends with a lot of the people
me
that
too.
we were in that group with.
Yep.
I can bounce ideas off of them. The content was great. The information was wonderful, but the connections made were just as important.
Yeah.
right.
So, do you normally go to LMT Lab Day in Chicago from Canada?
No, actually, I've never went, so, hopefully I will be able to in the future when things open up.
Oh, yeah. You would
So,
love it.
there's there's the Pacific Dental Conference here, in Vancouver, in March. So there's that, and there's like the Spectrum Convention, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
stuff up here in
Yeah.
Canada. So yeah, I do those, but it definitely in the future I would want to, go to more of those big shows for
It's
sure.
pretty amazing. I'll tell you what, I miss all of the meetings that we're having, but there's nothing like Lab Day. Right, Elvis?
Nothing comes close. It's a crazy great time.
Right.
Looking
right.
forward to next year.
Me too. Hopefully.
Are the shows happening in Canada this year, or are they not?
They were virtual, so the PDC
Okay.
just happened, and actually there's some Spectrum programs tomorrow, but yeah, they're all virtual. And yeah, I think people are sort of tired of all this virtual stuff, so I can't wait till
I was webinared out 4 months ago.
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough, but this is the new normal right now. So
Yeah, it sure is.
like in BC, there's stricter restrictions now because of the number of COVID cases are rising again. It's kind of scary with the variant.
It is.
Yeah.
What about vaccine? Are people in the industry able to get the vaccine in
Yes.
Canada? Yeah, good.
Yes. So I got my vaccination last weekend. So
Nice.
yes, my first shots.
Yep.
How about you guys?
I've been vaccinated since February. Fully vaccinated, or like I like to call it, indestructible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh.
You got it that quickly, huh? So hopefully you'll be able to travel to Nashville next weekend.
I would hope so.
It's the Visions 21 meeting.
But the second shots are in like 4 months, right?
The second shots?
Or it's just one shot?
No, I got 2 shots, and I finished mine in February, yeah.
Oh, you got both of them.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm indestructible right now.
Oh, okay, that's great, because I have to wait 4 months to get my second
4
shot.
4 months?
Yeah.
Here it's between
3 weeks?
21 and 45 days.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
4 months. Yowza.
Yes. So not indestructible yet.
No, not yet. Just
Not yet.
partially.
Yes, partially.
So what's next for you, Julia? I mean, you're rocking it in Shanto. What are you looking to tackle next?
Well, I mean, our lab is growing and Small Innovations, the company is also, growing with the Shanto Okanagan, which was operational March 1, and they're acquiring more labs. But I mean, Shanto, yeah, we're just growing, and I'm, going to take these online programs and just keep doing what I'm doing and just learning from everyone and, trying to be as on many podcasts as I can. This is my first one, so I gotta start somewhere, right?
I love
There you
it.
go.
Yep.
It's only up from here.
But it's great.
So Shanto is a full service, right?
We just opened our removables department this year, January.
Oh.
So we're becoming, yes, a
Wow.
full service laboratory.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
So were you part of that, bringing in the removable?
I don't want to take all the credit. I mean, it's really the whole team that kind of
Sure.
put it together. But yeah, I mean, just we have 2 great removable technicians now, but we really want to get started on, digital night guards and like kind of expanding our digital department there as well.
For a lab that opens a removable department now, today,
Mhm.
this year, do you lean more towards digital to get going, or do you still have a lot of the Bunsen burners and the wax and the pressing units and all that?
Yeah, for now it's sort of the traditional methods,
Okay,
but
yeah.
we do want to get moving on the digital stuff because, I don't know what it is, but we're getting a lot of night guards, right? And,
Oh, yeah.
hopefully we can get 3D printing the night guards soon. I mean, we have everything set up. We just have to kind of work on that digital side of it. And get it going. So,
Are you guys printing anything now, or?
well, we're printing, the models for the
Yeah.
kind of bridge work and stuff like that, and the surgical guides that we do, but not night guards yet.
Yeah.
We will be.
It's a few more clicks and a different resin. That's all it is.
That's true. That sounds very easy.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. You'll be doing it on Monday.
Yeah. Another thing to learn.
Do you guys get a lot of intraoral scans?
Yes, we are getting more and more. I
What's
find.
popular in Canada?
Which scanners?
Yeah.
The Itero, Trios, Medit.
List is the same.
Yeah, I think it's really the same. Yeah. But yeah, in that aspect, it's kind of like a little bit difficult too because, just because they have a scanner, it doesn't mean that the scans are going to be perfect, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think
That's for sure.
there's that aspect of, talking to them about, can we go ahead with these unclear margins or,
Even when it's on the screen,
there's-
they don't see it. Or they do see it, and they still send it. It just makes me crazy.
They ignore it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
They'll fix it.
We started to kind of be a little bit more vigilant, and we were actually sending a lot of like emails to doctors saying, hey, like this doesn't look too clear. Can we go ahead? And they're like, oh, why are you guys, starting to say this now? Like it was fine before. Just do it.
Yep. Just run it.
Well,
We hear that a lot too, but we try. We communicate a lot with our clients. So, when you see that and send them emails or texts and show them, but still a lot of the time they say, just go with it, just run it.
Right.
Yeah.
If it becomes a problem with, fit issues or just a lot of remakes, then we really need to, talk to them about, improving on their end. But, if it's fine for them, then, what can we do, right?
Agree.
So true. Well, Julia, thanks for coming on the podcast, and congratulations on the 40 under 40.
Yay!
Thanks.
Barb was upset. She wasn't picked for that.
Shut up. Be nice.
And we love hearing from
Canadian
people in a lab, Canadian people in labs.
Yes.
I think it's cool.
Awesome.
And congratulations. And thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you later sometime.
Good luck.
Yes. Yes. I would love to, come visit you guys and see how you guys run your lab and
There you
hopefully
go.
learn from you guys. So looking forward to meeting everybody in person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see anybody,
Yeah. For sure, that's for sure.
All right,
All
Julia, we
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, bye.
Bye. We'd like to welcome to the podcast a special 40 under 40, Chris Love from Absolute Dental. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you all?
Doing
Fantastic.
fantastic. So, Chris, we love to talk to people with the last name of Love.
Oh,
We
he's
saw
so
you.
funny.
I know, hilarious. We saw you in LMT. Congratulations on being selected to one of the 40 under 40 in that recent issue that they had. But talk about how you got into the industry. What introduced you to dental technology?
Yeah, so about 9 years ago now, I lived in Wilmington at the beach, and I was managing a restaurant. My buddy, I was already as high up in the restaurant as I could be, and my buddy was like, "Hey, there's a position in the model room, Crown and Bridge. You should apply." So I was like, "Okay, I'll apply." I was already kind of as high up as I could go in the restaurant industry, at least managing restaurants. So I tried it out, and I got very fortunate to work for Absolute because the harder I worked, the more opportunity they gave me. So,
Nice.
the more I pursued, they would let me pursue as much as I would like. They would let me learn as much as I would like. Obviously, I had to put in the time and the effort, but they led me further and further throughout my career, I think, by giving me opportunities to grow as a technician. And then obviously, being on the forefront of materials like we are at Absolute, that's given me a huge leg up or a huge opportunity as well, being, them willing to spend the money on the newest printers, the newest mills, all the newest materials to try out and kind of be the first people to test them. I think I've been pretty fortunate just being able to work for Absolute and the opportunities that they've given me. But I started in the model room and I worked my way up. I would work extra hours after hours to learn different things. And I just did whatever they needed me to do.
So do you specialize in removable at this point?
Exactly. So now at this point, so I was helping, I kind of did a little bit of everything at the Wilmington branch. So that's a little bit smaller of a lab, but it is under Absolute. And we were full service down there, but the volume was nowhere near what the mothership is, what like we like to call it. So they actually offered me a position to come help manage the removals department because they were growing and they needed some help operation. And I knew how to do, a good bit of removables, but we had a lead tech here that kind of helped get me to that next level in removables. So Bernie helped me out a lot. He spent a lot of time with me teaching me different things and, the proper way to do some of the things I didn't know how to do. I knew how to do basic removables, but we do carbon flex frameworks, Duraflex, flexible partials, which I hadn't really done any flexible partials before I got here.
Yeah.
And then working with Conrad and Dries and Jack Morano, I got really involved with fixed hybrids, removable hybrids. So all of the big full arch cases, I was able to really get involved with those. And under their guidance and under their wing, I really was able to take it that step further where, managing removals, but also working on these high-end cases with some of the best technicians in the country, I think, with Jack and with all the things that Conrad's done. And then Dries, who's behind the scenes, just always, them giving me their input, they're giving me their feedback and kicking stuff back. The quality is always one of our main focus here at Absolute. So I think being the standard that I've only known is the high quality that they want and that they demand. I'm only used to that quality. So it's helped me become, I think, the technician that I am today.
It'd be hard for you to go to start doing economy Medicaid dentures all of a sudden, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I would take too much time, more than likely. I would not be fast enough for one thing, probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know it, but it's a nod to your age that most removable technicians are a whole lot older, and there's not a lot of younger technicians coming into the removable area. So I really think that it's a nod to you that you're learning it and you're so good at it and you're managing it. Hopefully you'll start mentoring some younger techs as well.
And I look forward to that. I've been fortunate enough, Jerry Kaiser, actually, I met him and he actually invited me to his lab and I got to kind of hang out with him and his team and just see what a real removables lab was all about. Because, we're full service at Absolute and it was built off of Crown and Bridge. So getting where Jerry some and just seeing the environment and just seeing what he's built, him and his team, it was a great opportunity. He's been a great mentor for me. Just the small text messages that he sent, on random occasions mean more to me than a lot of other things. So I do look forward to mentoring some of our younger technicians, which I think I already am doing. I try to be hard on them and kind of push the level and push how good we want the final outcome to be. But I also try to have fun with it at the same time. I don't want it to be too serious, but I do demand, we do demand the quality. So I try to find that balance.
Yeah, but if you can't have fun at work, there's no point of working, man. You gotta have some enjoyment in it.
Exactly.
So you manage the removable department. Talk about your day. Do you spend time on the bench, or is it mostly phone calls and organization?
So yes, with me being able to do a little bit of everything, which I think you kind of need to nowadays, especially if somebody calls out, I can step in. But on a daily basis, yeah, I'm on the phone all day. Even if I'm at the bench, I'm still on the phone. So customer service, case planning, just answering questions about anything that they need, implant questions. I'm lucky I know quite a bit about implants as well. And we are doing a lot of digital dentures. And so I have a really good team under me that really is behind the scenes fabricating everything and figuring out the ins and outs to the digital workflows. Kate, she does an amazing job, and her team. So I'm the one on the phone explaining how to do it, how we do it, what's the best workflow, trying to problem solve different cases. And that's why I love this industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you get to deal with doctors and walk them through and help them out and, have a happy patient at the end of the day and a successful case. And there's so many good things to it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's our goal, happy doctor, happy patient. We're
Yep.
changing people's lives. So
Yeah, it is super exciting.
So there's a lot of similarity because before I got into this industry, I was also managing restaurants. And when I
Really?
went to manage,
Come on. I didn't know
knew
that. No,
yes,
I didn't.
you did.
All right,
Pay
I do
attention.
now.
Go back and listen to the old episodes. So I learned a lot managing restaurants, and it helped me manage people in the lab. Do you find that? Do you take those experiences from the restaurant into the lab?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was managing a restaurant down at the beach, so I had many different personalities.
Yeah.
And I think that's in any industry, but in the lab you have so many different personalities, and you need to kind of figure out, how do I address this person and push them to be better? Some people you have to kind of push them more. Some people you need to be a little bit easier on. So working in the restaurant, starting there, I kind of figured that out at a young age. I think I got lucky in that sense.
And you get a sense of rush, because you had that like dinner rush.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens to a lab all of a sudden.
All day.
All day, but it comes in waves, just like it comes in a restaurant. The similarities were always fascinating to me.
No, very true. Yep. The waves of rush. But yeah, like Barb said, I feel like, right now, and I know it's across the industry, it's a rush all day now, which is good, good. But you have to be on your toes and on, with me being on the phone and helping technicians and doing some cases, I really have to stay on my toes all day. So I'm nonstop all day, which I like. My days fly by.
Oh, heck yeah. I tell you what, when you're doing that and managing people and talking to clients and working on cases, the days fly by. That's what I love too. It's so exciting. So I have to segue just really quickly. So yesterday we had to cancel our podcast with you, and you have a 11-month-old son?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Aw, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you definitely have your hands full then, right?
Yeah, I'm nonstop, and then I get home, and then it's nonstop. I have to try to help as much as I can.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
That's great. So you mentioned digital dentures. Are you doing those, or is another department handling those?
No, so my department handles them, but we have our analog department and we have our digital.
Oh, and you manage both?
And I manage both. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Now I do have Kate, and she's great. She's doing an amazing job.
Sure.
She's, there at the bench figuring out she's really good on CAD, on 3Shape, but I'm on the phone handling any cases, case planning. And I can sit down and do it. I'm not as good as Kate is, I'll tell you that. But I can still sit down and do it if I need to.
Yeah.
How was your personal learning curve for the digital aspect of doing dentures with clients? Like, was that hard for you to wrap your arms around and be able to teach it and learn it and all of that with that different skill, I guess I would consider it?
So with digital dentures, in this way I like to explain it. For the clinician, it can be as digital as they want it to be. from using a intraoral scanner as the starting point of the case
Mhm.
to as analog as they want it, where the only thing that they get that's digital for them is it's just a printed prototype. So really they're not doing anything digital. So it's just explaining and working with clinicians and showing them that, hey, it's really not that different from analog if you don't want it to be. Now, we use the reference denture technique where you use the patient's existing denture as a starting point.
Yeah.
And that's a great digital workflow. They can either scan it with the intraoral scanner and send us the file, and then we fabricate a denture off of that, or they could send it to the lab and we can scan it on our benchtop scanner and send it back to them and then fabricate the denture. So it's nice because we can be as digital as we need to be, or with some clinicians, they would rather stay analog for the most part. They don't have a scanner. Well, they don't need to worry about having a scanner because we have the scanner here.
Do you think a lot of dentists feel that they can't do a digital denture because they don't have a scanner? Do you think that's just like the mindset that they have?
I think at first, yeah. So at first, when they hear digital denture, that is their first. They're like, oh, I don't have a scanner, and I'm like, oh, well, you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
So it's been nice, I think that's been a big thing, just informing the clinicians and helping guide them, and working on them. I mean, I have clinicians that's helped me through this process as well, a lot.
I bet, yeah. Are you doing more digital or are you still doing more analog?
We are doing more digitally processed dentures, and we print them with loose tone 199 on the carbon.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Of course he has one of those.
Yeah, that's not me. Now, that's what I was saying. I'm lucky, Conrad and Dries are willing to invest in materials and equipment that we need to be forefront.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when a doctor orders a denture, they don't specify they want digital. Do you inform them they're getting digital? Or do you just, that's what you guys sell and that's what it is?
So at first, on every case they came in, when we first transitioned over, every case that came in, it would come to my bench and I'd make a phone call.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Somebody gets a printed prototype and they're like, what is this? There's no wax. I can't move the teeth.
Yeah.
And I ended up just having conversation after conversation and explaining the pros, which they're pretty much only pros to doing digital dentures compared to the cons.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't set teeth chair side, so if the doctor doesn't set teeth chair side, the digital denture is the way to go.
Yeah, well, that's most of them. So.
Exactly. There's hardly anybody that sets teeth chair side nowadays.
Yeah.
And we have some prosthodontists that we work with actually, and all we do with that, where they would set teeth chair side, is we'll do a team view. So we'll get the case set pretty much exactly where they want it, follow the bite rim, get everything pretty much where they want it. And then we'll make a phone call and we'll do a team view, and we can literally reset the teeth how the doctor would like them.
Wow.
With the patient sitting there?
No, the patient's not sitting there, but some of the prosthodontists that we're working with, they know their patient, they know they got the bite right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big things. As long as you get that bite rim right and you've contoured that wax rim to where it needs to be, then you don't lose any of the information digitally. So I'm able to pull the wax rim in and out of the design.
Wow.
That's cool. See, I don't do a lot of digital dentures at all. So for me, just to be able to visualize that sounds like one hell of a tool.
Exactly. Yep. And, you're able to check on the technician. So, traditional analog, you set the teeth using the wax rim. Well, as soon as the technician sets the teeth, you have to just go, you can make templates and everything, but for the most part, you have to trust the technician followed that wax rim in the analog.
Yeah, interesting. Do you see a lot less remakes with digital?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot less processing errors, and that's one of the other great things. The printed prototype's going to fit exactly how the final does.
Mm-hmm.
So you're addressing fit, function, everything at the try-in. And then when we process it, it's a one-to-one copy. So not unless you choose the wrong file to say you've done 2 try-ins and somehow you actually choose the first try-in. That happened one time and it was very embarrassing because I argued with the dentist that was like one of the things one of the best things about it. And then I had to call him back the next day and apologize.
Yeah.
So,
do you see a lot of multi-try-ins or do you usually get it on the first try?
I think that kind of depends on what workflow we're doing. If it's a reference denture, which you're using the patient's existing denture as a starting point, we do plenty of those where it's one try-in and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, and then it also depends on the clinician. Did they take the time to get that bite right? If the bite's off, then that's most of the time. Then we have to do another try-in.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a patient break a denture and then you were able to pull it up and just redo it without having to go through any of that?
Yep, exactly. And that's one of the huge selling points for the digital dentures is, the patient breaks the denture, which it's been very uncommon. There's been no teeth debonding, which is amazing. The only thing that's happened is we've had a few break now, but out of, I think, 2,000, I can still count on one hand.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Well,
But
you're
still.
driving trucks over them now.
Yeah, that's Conrad. He likes to remember.
I'd be like, I want at least 2 because I have at least 4 pairs of loops all over this company. So if I had dentures, I would want at least 2, 1 to lose and 1 to wear.
Yep. And that's actually one of the other great things is, we'll offer, if you go ahead and order 2 of them right away, then you get the second one for a discounted price, obviously.
Awesome.
But for somebody who has one of their parents in a nursing home and they misplace their dentures, you can go ahead and print 2 and they keep 1. And if their parent loses the denture in the nursing home, they actually have the other one right there and they just take it over.
That's got to be a huge upsell for you. That totally makes sense to me.
Do you have a lot of offices bite and take that second set?
So not really, because you can still order within 2 years.
Is that how long you keep the file?
Yeah, so we keep everything in the cloud, so we have everything backed up.
Nice.
Okay.
So as long as something unforeseen doesn't happen, we should have that file. That's one of the things that we sell. Is we will keep the file for you, call us, and we can reprint the denture.
Very interesting. So with your daily carbon use, how's that been going? We haven't talked to someone that daily uses a carbon in a while.
Other than myself, of course.
Other than yourself. It just sits there not doing dentures.
Right, that's true.
Are you still getting the support that carbon was so famous for?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when something failed, they were there the next day. We had them even call us before and let us know, hey, we're going to be there for a maintenance. You're going to need to work around us being there for 2 hours. So it's been a good relationship.
Yeah, they don't mess around. They come up, they get it up, and they get it running. They send the updates. They've been excellent to work with, for me anyways.
And then the key splint night guard material, I don't know if you've tried that, Barb, but if you do night guards and you have a carbon, I would highly recommend doing the key splint night guards. It's an amazing material.
Why is it better than the others?
We digitally design it, and then there's no processing. It's printed, but the material actually, it's not a soft. It's called key splint soft, but it's not soft. It has a rigid outside, but when it's in the patient's mouth, it actually, the inside of it adapts to the patient's teeth and kind of cushions.
Wow.
So we're having great feedback. People are loving them. They're fitting great. And we do take the time to mount every case on a SAM3 articulator, every night guard, and dial in the occlusion.
Wow.
It's important.
Did you say there's no post-processing on those?
Well, we do finish and dial in the occlusion on the articulation, but there is no processing in the sense of, we don't have to go upstairs and pack or pour, process. It's just printed. So you're not going to run in. There's always processing errors, I feel, when you have, human processing errors, whereas the carbon, we really haven't, as long as you put the supports right. And I mean, the carbon's been on top of its game. I mean, with what we've produced, it's been consistent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to call on a night guard that was due the next day because it misprocessed or had a huge air bubble and then it fell apart. You're just like, really?
You got to reduplicate the model. I mean, then that whole process is such a process.
Yeah.
So
what's next for the removable department at Absolute? What are you guys working on?
So we just we're still going hard with the digital dentures. I mean, it's kind of taken off. So just growing that area, and we still actually get a lot of analog cases. So right now we're kind of just going with what we have.
Sure.
Because we're still learning. I mean, digital dentures, they've been around for a little while, but I say we still learn too. Every day. Trying to do a digital denture to a partial. The different workflows. So nothing really new up our sleeves right now.
Yeah.
Just trying to really master what we are doing, continue to master what we're doing.
What was it like for you personally when the magazine launched and you were 40 under 40? Did you get a lot of phone calls and a lot of love?
Yeah, I got a little bit of love and some phone calls. I got a lot of I still get it, at the lab. 40 under 40. They give me a hard time. It's been more of a hard time from like Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jack's a great guy, but he loves giving me a hard time because he was 40 under 40 first.
Aw, that's
And
cool.
he doesn't let me forget that.
It
No,
was
Jack's been
probably a
great
long
mentor.
way away.
Yeah.
He's
He's
probably
been
thinking, damn, I wish I was still there.
yeah.
That's cool. So you're going to get on the circuit, start talking now that you're famous?
So Conrad, I actually did my first live speaking engagement last week.
Good
Oh,
for
really?
you. A lot of nerves?
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
Not a great public speaker, but I think once I got through the first 5 minutes, I was speaking about something I knew about, like the back of my hand.
Yep.
So it got to be more of like a conversation, which was nice.
That's fantastic.
What was the speaking for?
We were with Itero and Zimmer,
Uh-huh.
and I was just speaking about the digital dentures and the workflows. So
Nice.
I talk about that all day on the phone, so it was easy.
Yeah. When you talk person to person, you have to, in your mind, think that you're on a phone, and it goes a lot easier.
Takes a lot of guts to get up and do that, though. I remember my first time, I was really, really, really nervous. And I think still you're always going to get nervous, but I think nerves is a part of the fact that you care and it's important and you want to do a good job. But keep doing it because it sounds like you have an awful lot to teach people.
Thank you. Yeah. I think I'll be nervous for a while. I mean, I'm honestly a little nervous right now, but y'all are super easy to talk to. So that's been nice.
Elvis is anyways. He always talks over me, but we have a love-hate relationship. So just kidding.
More hate than love.
I
Are you hoping to get to the point in your career where you never have to process a denture again? Do you see that future?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's going to happen. I mean, depending on the case, it's still, we do like hater bar, locator bar. I think there's still the traditionally processed need for those cases right now.
Yeah.
But I think eventually, it's all about materials and advancing. So we definitely try new things, but I think some ways of processing are still best the old school.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the general feeling of everybody.
Do you think digital will eventually do it? Do you think we'll eventually have a printed overdenture that's good?
Oh, yeah. I definitely think so. I think it's going to happen fairly soon. I mean, we've done it all depends on how much space you have, I think, too.
Yeah.
If you have plenty of space, vertical, you can make the base thick enough. Well, then it will be strong enough to support the clips or the locators that are inside. So I think a lot of it is limited space when you're thinking about that. That's why you're going with a locator bar or a Dolder bar, because you do have limited space.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely going to get there, and we have done it. We've done a Dolder bar case, and it's done, knock on wood, but it's been 2.5 years. So
wow. So you printed the denture and then you luted in
exactly
the clip? Oh.
It actually worked really well. We took that leap more so than a lot of people, but it still is hard for me sometimes to always take that leap and completely say, oh, digital is the only way.
Yeah.
But it's getting there, I think. I mean, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, me and Conrad drove to Charlotte, and we definitely were not thinking that we were going to be doing digital dentures. But Carbon and Dentsply had a material that was actually strong and aesthetic, finally.
Sweet.
Nice. You were there with Conrad when you first learned about this product.
Yeah, he actually took me up. He was like, hey, we're going to drive up there. And
he told that story when he was on the podcast. So
yeah, he did. Yep.
Awesome. Well, Chris, I think it's great. I love hearing that we have such a great force in their youth in the removable industry.
Me too. Yep.
We don't hear it enough, and I hope more people get inspired by it.
Yeah, I hope so too, because removals is taking off. So that is
yes, that is.
That's the part of the industry to get into, I think.
It's the place to be.
It is.
Well, Chris, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
The Asiga Max, the world's most advanced lab 3D printer, offers exceptional productivity. Well over 400 labs in the U.S. can attest to its accuracy, speed, and precision.
With the 62 micron print precision, the Max is optimized for both the dental lab or the clinical environment. Its exclusive SPS Smart Positioning System technology guarantees that every single layer is formed accurately, resulting in consistent results in any environment. And its single-point calibration makes calibration extremely accurate and fast.
As an open material system, you can print any suitable resin from any material manufacturer. Your choice, no strings. The Max also features the fastest material changeover of any 3D printer.
Labs love this. Change completely from one print resin to another in under 30 seconds, which is really amazing because you and I both know how hard that is. All of this and the finest, most dependable technical support staff in the dental lab industry.
Call Whitmix today or visit whitmix.com to find out more about the Asiga Max. And as always, we appreciate your support of the podcast, Whitmix.
Big thanks to Julia and Chris for coming on our podcast, and congratulations for making LMT's 40 Technicians Under 40 magazine. This industry totally needs more young people to enter our profession, and we hope that under your leadership and guidance, you might hire the next 40 Technicians Under 40. We are happy to talk to any other technicians featured in the 40 Under 40 issue. Please reach out to us at info@voicesfromthebench.com, and we can find out about your story. And don't forget, get us those audio thanks for the Dental Technician and CDT Appreciation Month. It's easy to do, and it really does mean a lot to those to thank them. Also, remember that the Fdla Symposium is just a few weeks away. It's June 11th to 12th in my backyard, Orlando, Florida. FDLA.net to register if you're itching to get away and do an in-person meeting, because it's going to be great and the weather's amazing. So
that's why I'm going, just for the weather.
Yep.
And to spend the whole time in a hotel.
Yep. Nice. Not me. I'll be at the pool.
Yeah, okay. I will be at the Preet booth, so please come see me to talk all things attachments and implants.
I will. I'm just going to say hi, and then I'm going to go to the pool.
Oh, okay. Barb goes for the education.
Not.
Poolside.
I do, actually.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's all we got for you. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Friday, end of the month. Do you remember what that's like?